Okay, next.
You? Thank you. You?
When I found out that
Oh, louder, louder, louder.
Here. When I found out that I was gonna go see you and listen to you talk, um, I was really excited and I wanted to do a little bit of research on you and your past. And I found out that you were chosen to be the Dalai Lama at a very young age. What was it like to be appointed to such a high status at that early in your life?
그래서 주주관. 뭐지?
주주관이야, 다 간다. 군주 체 표에도 군주 콜로 주주관 나샤스. 대인자 콜로 주주들가 가블이야 되게 개치 뭐 미차도가 초각한데 중요하나스.
When I was young, of course, I was not much concerned about because of the recognition of Dalai Lama or something like that. But as I mentioned earlier, my mother, very, very kind. So I must say, one happy child because of my mother's kindness. My father, occasionally, a little bit blessing, like that. So at that time, I don't like my father. Then came to Lhasa, start study, age 6, 7, then start study. So I was very, very lazy student and very, very reluctant for study. Then age about 13, 14, then I developed some enthusiasm within study. So then I carry more serious study. Then age 16, I got the responsibility. People give me responsibility about temple kasoda.
Leadership.
Leadership. And the situation also become then difficult. So then, 1950, 51, I got this responsibility. Then 52, I start Reform Committee. As I mentioned earlier, my attraction about democracy developed around that period. So existing Tibetan government system, there are many drawbacks. Because the reason, power in the hands of few people. So I felt we need change, reform. Then 1952, around 52, I set up Reform Committee, try to carry some reform. And then become not very successful. Then 54, went to China, Peking, met Chairman Mao Zedong. And I think I want to share my young sister, my relation with Chairman Mao Zedong eventually become like relation between father and son. It's in my mind, more scientific way. So Chairman Mao loved that. So eventually he trusted me. So a lot of meaningful conversation and received advice from him. Very happy moment. Then come back, 1955. Then end of 55, some open revolt started from eastern part of Tibet. Then things become difficult. Then 56, I came to India. And I have the opportunity making competition, communist system, a democratic system. So India system. So one occasion, Prime Minister Zhou Enlai came to Delhi with Vice President Holo, Marshal Holo. So then I visited the Chinese embassy in New Delhi and some talk, Chinese Prime Minister. And I told him, oh, the atmosphere of our parliament in Peking and the parliament in India, big differences. Indian parliament full of noise. A lot of discussions, criticisms like that. In our parliament in China, much disciplined. More or less was a silence. I also noticed, you see, when I was in session in Chinese parliament, you see, many, my friend, old the gentlemen. So when the leader make long speech, then many of these lead parliament member sleep. So I mentioned Zhou Enlai. You see, there is big differences. Then Zhou Enlai respond to me, oh, since you left, our parliament also much changed. Zhou Enlai told me like that. So one sort of opportunity, make comparison. Then, beginning of 57, I returned to Tibet. According Pandit Nehru's, India's Prime Minister, Nehru's advice, I returned. Pandit Nehru really takes serious sort of concern. So he carried one copy of 17-point agreement. You see, he some clauses he marked, and he said, on basis of this clause, you see, you have to try to take some sort of
steps
like that. So then, rest of 57, things become worse and worse. Then 58, very difficult. The Kham area crisis reached Amdo area. So many people killed, many monasteries destroyed, like already started destruction. Then finally, 1959, there's no other way except escape. And since 1959, we become refugee. Like that. In the meantime, India's freedom really gives me wonderful opportunity meeting with different people, different sort of profession or different sort of background, including scientists, and many different sort of religious practitioners. Of course, religious leader also, you see, there. But I have main sort of interest is genuine practitioner of these different religious traditions. Muslim, Hindus, and Christians, and Sikhs are really very, very useful to gain, to exchange different sort of experience and different thoughts like that. So my life, through that way, quite a busy way. Now I realize I reach 81-year-old. Like that. So you, as a young sister, you see, should think more seriously what I mentioned before. These, of course, some sort of influence from Buddhist teaching, but mainly through my own experience. So we are same human being. When I give talk I never consider I'm something special. We all, actually, 7 billion human beings, mentally, emotionally, physically, we are same. We all, you see, have desire to achieve happy life, and we all have a right to achieve that goal. The problem is we do not seriously realize the real sort of source of our happiness, our happy life. That's problem. So I try to make clear ultimate source of happiness, not outside, but within ourselves. So please think more seriously. Okay. So my young sister, should become constructive women, not destructive women.